What many have been talking about this week is the construction of a temporary detention centre for asylum seekers at Pontville, just north of Hobart. On Tuesday, the federal government moved quickly to establish the centre on Commonwealth land. It's the same buildings that housed refugees from Kosovo in the mid-1990s. Martin Cudahy visited Pontville to gauge the reaction of locals.
Pontville is a historic town dating back to the early 1800s. It was one of the key stopover points for carriages travelling between Hobart and Launceston. These days it's a semi-rural hamlet, known mainly for its heritage buildings. But soon it will be a stopover point for as many as 400 men who are seeking asylum on Australian shores.
These decisions are usually controversial. That is no surprise.
We've had this incredible building the detention centre revolution now unfold around the country.
The former army barracks will be converted into a temporary detention facility. Since the announcement, military personnel and contractors have already started transforming the site. Signs warning of live firing and bombs have disappeared, and more work is expected before the centre opens next month.
We will, of course, need to construct the appropriate fences and security and bring in some additional buildings over and above what is already there.
It's not far from the site where hundreds of refugees from Kosovo were housed in the late 1990s.
Knowing the way that the community at that particular time embraced that, I feel that even though this is a totally different situation and a different scenario that these people will be coming under, I don't see any concerns in our community whatsoever.
I know they've got to go somewhere, but I just wish it wasn't in my backyard.
Security is a big concern for a lot of Pontville locals that 7:30 Tasmania spoke to. Annette NICHOLS and her menagerie are probably the facility's closest neighbours.
If they wanted to desperately come so bad and get out of their war-torn areas or whatever, they should come the proper way. I know it's probably hard for them to do that, but yeah, so I don't feel sorry for them at all, really.
John Jones lives just a bit further up the road. He believes the $15 million of federal money would be better spent on local programs catering for regional communities.
Being involved in other organisations, and we're told there is insufficient funds, and I'm very, very concerned, first of all, for the health and well-being of our community.
Across the way, less than a kilometre from the site, is the Hobart Gun Club. Here, trap and skeet shooters meet for training every Wednesday afternoon, and there's at least 2 competition shoots a month.
I don't know how it's going to go, because what facilities they've got down there, we don't know anything about that just really yet.
The club president's concerns stem from what's been happening on Christmas Island recently. There's been rioting, escapes, and some buildings have even been burnt down.
It's the same sort of setup like it was on those islands where they had all these fires and burning buildings and that sort of thing. We don't know whether they're the same sort of people or same people, and what happens if they do the same thing down here.
Well, I think they really should be concerned due to the fact that, as they say, it's a detention centre, so there will be, I believe, the appropriate security in place to cater for the people that are in there.
Peter BOUKOUVALAS runs a busy takeaway shop in neighbouring Brighton. He's expecting local businesses to be inundated by workmen and military personnel.
Well, I believe that it's going to be a positive impact due to the fact that with all of the works going on, it's just going to be a positive factor for all the small businesses that are in the area. And if it's going to, the extended period of time that it's going to take for the works to be completed, it's just going to be a big bonus.
Unions have also welcomed the promise of jobs for the region, as has the Infrastructure Minister David O'Byrne and industry groups. And since the announcement earlier this week, there's been another one. Women and children asylum seekers are also heading to Tasmania within a few weeks. But unlike the Pontville detainees, they won't be locked up. They'll be helped transition into the community with support from the Red Cross. How many will depend on how much available accommodation there is. The asylum seekers are not allowed to get paying jobs, but they can become involved in community organisations like church groups, and the children will go to school. Asylum seeker men will also start arriving at Pontville within the next few weeks. It's meant to be a 6-month stopgap solution until other detention centres are ready. But Brighton Mayor Tony Foster sees an opening.
There may be some long-term opportunities here for Tasmania and us for, if we could talk with the state government and the federal government somewhere down the track, that these people could be relocated here permanently.